For the next topic, we have to study about unemployment. First, everybody know the meaning of unemployment is people do not get jobs and they do not live a quality lifestyle. They do not fulfill the basic necessities of life. First, we discuss about the types of unemployment. First is frictional employment. This type of employment occurs due to imperfections in the mobility of labor across different occupations. Means when the people, I will give you example of this type of employment. When people move from one to another job, or maybe they want to change the job to they want to promote, or maybe they want to more salary, so that's why they change the job. But sometimes, in the case of changing the job, they will do not get the job and they are unemployment. So that is frictional unemployment. This type of employment is usually observed in the developed countries, but now it even occurs in India as India is a growing economy. Second category is open employment. Open employment refers to a situation where a worker is willing to work and also has the necessary ability to do work but does not get the work. For example, if a one child is educated, for example, he done a BTech, but after the completion of BTech, that child does not get a job because he has proper training, he is knowledgeable, proper experts, and but still they do not get job. So this type is a open employment. This type of employment is usually found among agriculture laborers, educated persons, and those who come from villages to the urban areas in search of jobs but fail to get any one. Means basically these kind of employment faced by the agriculture people, educated people, and those people who move from rural area to urban areas. The next category is under unemployment. It refers to a situation when the employed people are contributing to production and income less than what they are really capable of. For example, if you are working in any company, you are contributing 100%, you can sell the product, your company will also generate a profit, but you do not get actual salary what you deserve. So that is underemployment, under unemployment. The next category is seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment refers to a situation when people get work during some days or months or of the year, but not regular throughout the year. If you are doing work in a college or school, means you are not a regular faculty of the particular college. Means maybe you are working on a contract basis. Maybe they will hire for a few months, for a one semester, for the 2 semester, for the 1 year. It depends upon the organization. Means when the organization need, then they will hire you. This is observed mainly in the agriculture sector. In agriculture, work is seasonal even throughout agriculture activities are performed throughout the year. Means while we are growing any kind of seed in the land and we hire the labor person when the season is going. During the peak agriculture season, when the crop is ready for our harvesting, means when our crop is ready, then we need to more people as we can easily harvest the crops. Similarly, we also need to sowing the crop, weeding the crop, transplantation period. In this process, we need a labor is required. We need a labor. So employment therefore increases at this time. In fact, we will find that there is hardly any unemployment in rural areas during this peak agricultural industry on the basis of seasonal activities, on seasonal time. Each and every those people who are living in rural areas, they will get work. Means they are not unemployment. They are not unemployed. However, when the seasons are over, means when your season is over, and especially those who do not have own land or whose land is not sufficient, to meet the basic requirements. They are landers, laborers, marginal farmers remain unemployed. Means when your season is over, you are unemployed because the farmer will be hire you for a particular time period. They as a motive is they want to just complete the task. They give you monthly salary, and after that they say you now you are leave from the job. So after some time, after some months, after few months, maybe these kind of people are unemployed. That is seasonal unemployment. The second type, next type is structural unemployment. This type of employment occurs due to structural change in economy, such as as you know that now the day that our country is advancing day by day, means our technology will be changed, method of teaching will be changed, people demand, customer preference will be changed. So when the technology changes, the old technology is no longer needed. Means old methods will not need in the nation. So they are rendered unemployment. Those people who are habituated to working the previous methods, but now there is no sense of use that much in the industry or in the company, and that people are unemployed because they want to change in the nation, in the industry. They want to adapt new technology, new machines in the industry. If, obviously, they need to hire expert person who have proper knowledge how he or she can use a machine. If a person know the usage of particular technology, and the company will hire that person. Similarly, change in demand pattern may result in the closure of certain industries, and the workers will get unemployment due to the advancement in the technology or advancement in the nation. There are many industries who are shut down. Developing countries like India suffer from severe structural change in the process of growth, and thus a higher degree of structural unemployment exists in both urban and rural areas. Due to the structural change in the nation, people are unemployment in both regions, rural as well as urban. The next category is technological and educated unemployment. Technological unemployment refers to unemployment that arises because of the use of labor saving techniques, whereas educated employment refers to the unemployment among the educated people. Means if we are here to talk about the technological sector, if people do not know how they use the technology, how they work according to the technological advancements, means they are unemployment. If they don't know the new methods, if they don't know the new techniques, if they don't know how to use the new equipments in the industry, so they are employment. Whereas educated unemployment refers to the unemployment among the educated people. Means still there are so many people who are educated, but still they are unemployment due to the nation leaders because they are not ready to open the new industries, new they do not want they do not ready to open the new industries, new markets, new business, new office, new schools. If they generate job opportunities for the public, then each and every educated people get a job according to the skills and abilities. There are some causes of unemployment, means problems of what are the reasons behind and what are the problems of unemployment. First is one is slow economic growth. In India, the growth rate of economy is very slow, and it fails to provide enough employment opportunities of the rising population. The availability of labor is much more than the availability of employment opportunities. Means our economic growth rate is very slow as compared to the another nations, other countries like USA, Canada, Australia. And our country are unable to open employment opportunities for the rising population, for the general public. So we have more labor, and but we do not have jobs. The company do not fulfill the requirements of the general public. The second point is rapid population growth. The extension of population has directly added to the unemployment. And problem by adding to the labor force means if people are educated and they do not get job, means labor force will be increasing day by day. In this way, they will reduce the saving, reduce the investment, and resulting in slow growth rate of job opportunities. Means people do not get the job in the coming times. If population is increasing day by day, if we do not need to control it, then it will happen with us. Next is seasonal occupation. Agriculture is the primary occupation in India. As we in the first lecture we discussed, the majority of the population of India depend upon the agriculture sectors and provides employment to a major portion of the population. Due to this sector, number of people get employed in this sector, but its seasonal character does not provide work to the farmer all the year around. Means if we say within a 1 year I hire the labor and we will give salary, but it is impossible for the farmer. They just hire the labor only for few months on the seasonal time when they need. So the number of discussed unemployment is nearly 15% of the total working population. Means only 15% of the population will get job in this sector of the total working population. The second point, next point is decline of cottage industries. In rural India, cottage industries are the only means of employment, particular of the landless people. Means those people who do not have land, they are totally dependent on the cottage industry. But nowadays, these type of industries are also declining because they directly depend on the various, because these kind of people totally depend upon these industries and they live a good lifestyle. Basically, they fulfill the basic necessities of life. But nowadays, it has opposite effect by the industrialization process. Actually, it is found that they cannot compete with modern factories in quality as well as production. Means those people who run these industries, but now that the technology is so advanced, our nation is advancing day by day. So these type of people cannot cope up with the new technology. So that's why these type of industries are declining, is on decline stage. So as a result, this village industry suffers serious loss, gradually close down. Means those people who are open industry in the village sector, in the village side, these industries are totally shut down, and the people who work in there remain unemployed. Those people are who working in these industries, they are jobless. The next is limited land. Land is a gift of nature. It is always constant and cannot expand like population growth. Means we already know that we have only 2.4% of the total land, but we cannot expand the land. We need to control the population. We know that the population is increasing, but land will not be increasing because we have to adjust on this land. Since the Indian population is increasing rapidly, therefore the land is not sufficient for the growing population. As we know that population is increasing around 1 billion every year, but this growing population cannot survive in this sufficient land which we have. As there is heavy pressure on the land in rural areas, most of the people depend directly on the land for their livelihood, and land is very limited in comparison to population. Means majority of the people depend upon the agriculture sector, and if we have limited land, then how we can survive? In this way, it creates a situation of unemployment for a large number of persons who depend on agriculture in rural areas. If if the scenario is same, then it may create a problem for the rural people who totally depend upon the agriculture. The next cause is inadequate employment planning. Means employment planning of the government is not adequate. Means the government do not do proper planning regarding this issue in comparison to the population growth. As a result, a great difference is visible between the job opportunity and the population growth. Means there is a major comparison between two terms. First is job opportunities, and the second one is population growth. On the other hand, it is very difficult task on the part of government to provide adequate job facilities to all the people. It is very difficult for the government leaders to provide each and every human being in the nation to provide a job. Besides this, the government has not taken any adequate step in this direction. Means still now, the government does not take any steps regarding this issue. The faulty employment planning of the government expedites this problem to a great extent. Government also know this problem is the biggest issue for themselves as well as for the country. But in the 5-year plan, no priority has been given to the employment because every nation had set to the 5-year planning. Means in this plan they have to what they want to do for the nation and what kind of project they have to take, how much they want to improve the infrastructure of the nation. So when the government decided the 5-year plan, but in the 5-year plan, they give the low priority to the employment. But they need to give more priority on the employment. But the government do opposite. As a result, the problem of employment is increasing day by day. Due to the government, the problem of unemployment is increasing at an alarming rate, at an exponential rate. Thank you.